Hey everyone, Tom Lee just made a massive prediction. He says Bitcoin could hit 5 million. He also mentioned that at a certain point, Bitcoin could help offset national debt, throwing out a figure of $36 million per BTC. Sounds crazy, right? Well, Tom Lee has been one of the most accurate market analysts for years, so we should pay attention. I'm going to play the clip for you in just a second. All right, let's dive into what Tom Lee just said, because this could be a game changer for Bitcoin.
Dude, we can't let you out of here without talking about crypto. You've got a chart in your deck that shows Bitcoin going to 5 million.
Yeah, say the craziest thing you can about crypto so we can clip this for TikTok.
How are we getting to 5 million?
Now that's
slowly.
Yeah,
and then all at once.
Yeah.
By the way, if you got to 5 million, because we have a grid to show it, it's that gold would be doubled in price.
Daniel, previous chart.
Yeah. Gold would double in price.
So this is if crypto reaches parity with gold in terms of market cap?
Yes.
Okay, it's not there already?
No, it's only 10% of the value of gold.
Wait, what? How much gold is there in the world?
There is
10?
$21 trillion of gold.
How much crypto? 3?
Bitcoin's 2.
Bitcoin by itself is 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So if the amount of money millennials choose to put into digital gold rivals the current amount of gold, you know what the flaw in that logic is? If there's this huge predilection for Bitcoin versus gold on the part of millennials, then the valuation of gold will shrink. So is like you might get parity, but that's because the amount of money in gold goes down.
Yeah, I thought about, and I got the numbers a little wrong. Let's say gold has to go to like $7,000. However, I heard something interesting, and I didn't realize gold has outperformed the S&P 6 of the last 7 years.
Yeah.
So
quietly too.
Yeah, so gold isn't a bad asset class, but Bitcoin. So I think even if it's not like millennials need to buy gold for gold to go up, you just need the boomers to hold it.
You need central banks around the world to buy it and hold it, which they are.
That's right.
Okay. Do you get involved in any of these conversations about Bitcoin reserve? Like, are you talking to people that are involved in this at all, or not really?
Well, there is. I'm not going to the White House this week. Okay. I'm not invited, but we do have conversations with Congress people.
Okay.
But
are they like, Tom? What do you think if we do this?
Do you think it's a good idea?
Like, can you pump my coin?
Yeah, is it a good idea? Why would we have a Bitcoin strategic reserve?
I think it makes a lot of sense.
Why?
Well, we already have one. We've confiscated Bitcoin.
All right, but why do you think it makes sense?
Why should we buy more?
If Bitcoin becomes the backbone of a new financial system, which it really is, it's the king of the remittances. It is the immutable blockchain, and people have a lot of reasons that they trust it. In 14 years, no one's broken it, and there's no replacement. Then if the U.S. owns 1 million Bitcoin, they'll be the largest holder of Bitcoin.
But what are we doing with it? We're facilitating trade with it, or we're just holding it?
Well,
if it's a strategic reserve, with a strategic petroleum reserve, they use it. When there's like an oil shortage, or there's a problem, or there's a dislocation, they will tap the reserve.
But yeah.
And then when prices calm down, they'll add it back. How does Michael's question, how does a Bitcoin strategic reserve function?
Okay.
Would there be a shortage of Bitcoin?
And we have to what end?
These are good questions, but keep this in mind. So oil's a strategic commodity.
Clearly.
Okay. Now, oil only has 7 buyers, really. It's the refiners. Oil, that's produced everywhere, it's really just bought by refiners.
Who then turn it into something useful.
Yeah, to distillates and gasoline.
Okay.
But there's really only 7 buyers. And so if you look at oil, the oil market that's bought for distillate, and then take the total trading volume of oil against that, what do you think the ratio is?
I don't know, tiny, right?
400. For every dollar of oil that's bought at a pump, it's traded 400 times on speculation.
Wow. Okay.
So you need a strategic petroleum reserve because there's so much price speculation around it that you could be whipsawed if you didn't control some way to manage prices.
Okay. So Bitcoin is the same.
Yeah, so let's say
tons of
Bitcoin,
speculation around
let's say
it.
that it becomes 10% of people's net worth and banks start to use it to secure information. Because remember, the blockchain, you can just store 1 pixel of a 10 million page document, but the hash will detect if you changed 1 pixel. So that's why you're going to use the Bitcoin to secure information, right? Well, that's really valuable, but then wouldn't the US want to be able to control this blockchain or exert some way to censor it somehow?
Okay.
And, once banks start trading Bitcoin, like Citadel, it will probably be the most profitable product for Goldman and JP
Because of
Morgan.
how volatile it is,
Yeah.
bid-ask spreads are wider.
Correct. And if
Okay.
oil's traded 400 times, Bitcoin might be 1,000 times. It's going to be a hugely traded commodity.
Okay, so this is a productive thing, even though, to my earlier point, we have a budget deficit, we have tons of debt. This is a project that we should also undertake now because it might come in handy at some point in the future.
Yeah, well, the US owns 200,000 Bitcoin,
Right.
as long as it's not, those keys are safe.
Okay.
And so let's say, but they buy 800,000 more through the Exchange Stability Fund, so another 80 billion.
If they do that, I think the price goes to $1 million too. I just don't know if they're going to do that.
Yeah, but then if Bitcoin gets to 36 million, there's
Yeah.
no national debt.
Okay. But in that fantasy, who do you sell the Bitcoin to pay off the debt, though? I've heard that before.
Michael Saylor, hello.
So Michael Saylor buys the Bitcoin from us, and we use the proceeds to extinguish our debt.
Well, it's not, you don't need to sell it because it's almost the same thing as like if NVIDIA is 3 trillion, it's not like someone would say, oh, well, you're going to liquidate all 3 trillion, so it's not worth 3 trillion. It's as long as the value is stored at that level
Okay.
and you can still trade
Then
it.
we could say it's an asset that offsets the debt that we have. We don't have to use it to pay down the debt.
Yeah.
We could just say we're backing that
Yeah.
debt with this asset.
I'll guarantee you if Bitcoin got to 36 million, okay, theoretically, the US cost of debt would go to 0.
Okay.
They would have because they have 0 net debt.
What's going to happen on Friday?
I think, okay, so the base case, I think it's a really bad jobs report, maybe 50,000. I think the market panics, but Powell's speaking at 12:30, and you're going to see the May odds 100%.
Because Powell's gonna make it all better. Like he's gonna calm people down. Like we're aware of the situation.
Well, because this is like now with Atlanta, GP now negative, and then jobs. This is not like the Fed can sit there hawkishly.
It's sort of funny to have a day where there's a jobs report that disappoints. The market's been selling off all week. It gets even worse on Friday, and Powell has to compete for airtime with Michael Saylor because the White House is filled with crypto people.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a wild day.
Yeah.
Well, Tom.
Now, what do you think about what Tom Lee said? Do you think he's right on? I'm very bullish on Bitcoin for the rest of the year, for the years to come. I think everything is setting up to actually be really bullish. But of course, it will take a little bit of time. When the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 are trading down, it's not like Bitcoin's going to continuously smash through all-time highs, especially when it is an institutional asset now compared to where it was in the past, where it's just retail traders buying. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much. Again, you can check out the links underneath the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.